college, we had a class discussion about Black historical figures. Specifically, we talked about how we had perceived Malcolm X and Dr. King throughout our education. And I was still really surprised about how dangerous and volatile and violent people thought Malcolm X was. I mean, somebody even said that they thought he hated white people and incited violence against them for no reason. It was just so crazy to me because as a Black person who wasn't even here for the civil rights movement, I still hold Malcolm and Martin in very similar regard of reverence and appreciation. And I know that what they thought of Malcolm wasn't true, but that's because I know that that's never what the movement for Black liberation has been about. In public schools, the story of the civil rights era is told in black and white between the years of 1960 and 1965. Dr. King was a sensible civil rights leader, while Malcolm X was the anti-white ex-convict. But that's not the case at all. Malcolm X describes himself as a reformed street hustler who did serious time in prison and emerged a new man, thanks largely to the teachings of the Nation of Islam's leader, Elijah Muhammad. Despite attempts to characterize him as violent, the man was a scholar, known for his thought-provoking literary style, both in speech and writing. He was devoted to dismantling long-standing systems not only of visible oppression, but subliminal ideas deeply ingrained by colonialism and the white supremacy that's the foundation of Western civilization. These foundations that continue to drive modern Black communities to self-separate. Malcolm X was, however, always inclined to take action. His disputes later in his career with Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam largely stemmed from his belief that there was greater salvation for the Black Americans should the Nation of Islam choose to engage in more action. The defining difference between Malcolm and other leaders and organizations was that he wasn't waiting on any divine intervention to come and unleash the Black American from under the foot of a white supremacist society. However, popular media, American government, and our history books have a habit of equating movements for Black liberation with senseless violence. Rather than discussing the senseless murder of civil rights leader Jimmy Lee Jackson by a white police officer, which led to Bloody Sunday in response to a peaceful protest, we see the same photos of anarchy in the streets from 1965. Instead of discussing the systems in place to protect the white police officer that brutally murdered an unarmed Michael Brown, the conversation is reduced to the Ferguson riots. So, next time that a social justice movement or political figure is called into question, there's always more to the story.